Is Claude 3 better than GPT-4? X walks back its misgendering policy, and the makers of Yuzu settle with Nintendo. It's Tuesday, March 5th, and this is Engadget News. The battle between AI chatbots is more than a two-horse race. Anthropic, the company formed by several ex-OpenAI employees, claims its new Claude 3 language model outperforms ChatGPT and Google's Gemini in several key industry benchmarks. It even hit near-human levels on some tasks, according to the company. There are 3 new chatbots under the Claude 3 umbrella, including Haiku, Sonnet, and Opus. Sonnet powers the Claude.ai chatbot and is offered for free with an email sign-in. Meanwhile, Opus is the largest and most powerful large language model and will be available with a $20 per month subscription via the Claude Pro service. It's also multimodal, so it can work with both text and image inputs, unlike past versions. All Claude 3 models can power live customer chats, auto-completions, and data extraction tasks where responses must be immediate and in real time. On top of promising near-instant results, they can supposedly handle longer multi-step instructions with increased accuracy. Opus showed better graduate-level reasoning than GPT-4, scoring 14.7% higher in that test than GPT-4. It also beat OpenAI's chatbot in tasks involving math, coding, reasoning, and knowledge. The company noted that Claude 3 can process a wide range of visual formats, including photos, charts, graphs, and technical diagrams, aiding companies that use PDFs, flowcharts, or presentation slides. It will also be less likely to refuse harmless content, thanks to a more nuanced understanding of requests, while still recognizing real harm. Anthropic has said that Claude AI is guided by 10 secret foundational pillars of fairness. Claude 3 was trained on both non-public internal and public-facing data using hardware from Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud. Social media platform X has once again quietly changed its rules around dead naming and misgendering without an explanation. With the latest change, it seems that there will be no penalties for misgendering or dead naming people on X after all, except in cases when it may be required by local laws. The update, which was first spotted by Mashable, comes after X appeared to reinstate some aspects of Twitter's former policy, which fell under its hateful conduct rules. Prior to Elon Musk's takeover, Twitter had barred targeted dead naming and misgendering. That section of the company's rules then disappeared last April. Then last week, Ars Technica noted that the policy was quietly updated to indicate that X would reduce the visibility of posts that purposefully use different pronouns to address someone other than what that person uses for themselves, or that use a previous name that someone no longer goes by as part of their transition. While it was not a full reversal of the earlier policy, under the company's previous leadership, intentional misgendering was grounds for a suspension. It seemed that there once again would be penalties for this type of harassment. Now, that section of X's rules is prefaced with, where required by local laws. As with so much of what happens at X, there is significant confusion about the policy as the company's rules seem to change based on the whims of Musk rather than a considered process. This was on display over the last few days as Musk fielded several complaints from right-wing personalities about last week's change. X did not respond to a request for comment about the policy or why it was changed twice in a matter of days. But Musk is known to be sympathetic to people who regularly engage in anti-trans harassment. One of his first moves after taking over the company was to reinstate a number of accounts banned for violating the company's previous hateful conduct policy. He has also repeatedly mocked people who specify their pronouns and publicly criticized ex-staff for attempting to apply the company's freedom of speech, not reach policy to a transphobic documentary. Tropic Haze. The popular Yuzu Nintendo Switch emulator developer appears to have agreed to settle Nintendo's lawsuit against it, less than a week after Nintendo filed the legal action accusing the emulator's creators of piracy at a colossal scale. A joint final judgment and permanent injunction filed Tuesday says Tropic Haze has agreed to pay the Mario Maker $2.4 million, along with a long list of concessions. Nintendo's lawsuit claimed Tropic Haze violated the anti-circumvention and anti-trafficking provisions of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Yuzu launched in 2018 as free, open-source software for Windows, Linux, and Android. It could run countless copyrighted Switch games, including console sellers like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Odyssey, and Super Mario Wonder. In addition to paying Nintendo $2.4 million, Tropic Haze must permanently refrain from engaging in activities related to offering, marketing, distributing, or trafficking in Yuzu emulator or any similar software that circumvents Nintendo's technical protection measures. Tropic Haze must also delete all circumvention devices, tools, and Nintendo cryptographic keys used in the emulator, and turn over all circumvention devices and modified Nintendo hardware. It even has to surrender the emulator's web domain, including any variants or successors to Nintendo. Despite the settlement, it appears unlikely the open-source Yuzu will disappear entirely. The emulator is still available on GitHub, where its entire codebase can be found. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and additional articles at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism by Engadget contributors Steve Dent, senior editor Carissa Bell, and Will Shanklin, and was produced by Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day. I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.